pace cars off the track. It's a 5 truck. And we're going to see how many lap trophy dash as we get to racing.
4 trucks, 4 laps to get this one underway, and it's the 7 of Robertson who took it over off of Reeves there on the start, single filing out for the first time down the back. The 26 of Derensburg way to the inside, so we'll go ahead at 2x2 for P2. Should help the 7 out in front.
We're battling for a trophy here. 4 laps. I don't know where I got 5 trucks from, but I'm still learning to count.
There is a 5 truck. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. He's running in 3rd right now. The big H is behind him, the 34 of Iono, trying to make a move, but we have a battle for the race lead. As Derensburg closes in, it's been Robertson since the opening lap, but the 7th pushed high. It's not going to be the place to do it in turn 2, and the 26 is going to go to the front.
And we've seen the 7 truck of Robertson. He has been pushing high
all weekend long.
Yeah, not sure if that's a handling issue or if it's a driver that does not want to slow down in the corners or what.
Well, he started off good. Again, it helped him out on that first lap getting up to speed, but you can see Derensburg a lot better off at the corners, and white flag in the air. Final lap of this 4-lap dash, and pretty comfortably out in front for the 26 machine to take the checkered flag.
And that is a trophy dash for the Southwest Euro truck. So today, or I should say tonight, this evening, we will have all of our main events and a B main for the super late models. Everything else beforehand will just be fun runs, if you will.
So it is a trophy dash minus the trophy.
Yeah, so it's just a dash.
Bragging rights.
Yeah.
Now, notice how they didn't tell them that before the race. They
Could
waited
you imagine?
Till after.
Everybody just pulls off the track. Well, crap, what's the point of racing then?
26 was going for it, and then they told him.
That's
Still
funny.
gets the win. Still opens up the night with the checkered flag. There's worse ways to spend your early evening. But
that's true. So coming up next looks to be our... I don't see them. It looks to be some Bandolero stuff. Trophy Dash heat races for the Bandoleros will be coming up next. And after that will be Evan and I's favorite division, the Bombers.
We didn't see we're seeing a lot of heat races like we saw last night. Similar cars, super late models. You got the Midgets, the Bandos looks like coming out now, but the Bombers are going to be fun.
Okay, in our first heat race, we've got the 48 car of Cody Camille. In the 38, we've got Jesse Love.
So the fun is going to be how you pronounce the lead car, our pole sitter, the 48. Let me give you a hint. The easiest way that I remember his name, how to pronounce, Kimley's name is Frank Kimmel, 10-time ARCA driver, and then Lee at the end. So Kimmel, Lee.
That's not how they spelt it, but that's how we're going to say it.
Oh, really?
Well.
Oh, it's kind of, correct.
Nothing's ever spelt the way it sounds.
Yeah.
But so Cody Kimley on pole for this one. This is a bigger field than what we just saw with 4 trucks. You got Jesse Love, familiar name from last night. He'll be in this all night long in P2. Chloe Lynch and Nick Cudson making up row 2, 3rd, and 4th. Trip Rothel, Matthew Cunningham, 5 and 6. And continuing on through as the pace car gets set to drop in, I believe, the next time by. We'll see. Flag's still waving, so no rush.
Getting a good look at the field. I believe it's the last race of the season for the Bandoleros. And it's going to be a good one. There's some drivers from out of town. There's
Plenty
some local,
this weekend.
Yeah, and then we've got some local drivers in this Bandolero field. So definitely a big field expected. I think this track normally gets around 7 to 10 normally. But if this is heat number 1 or this could be a combined heat, we'll find out.
So the 48's going to have to wait on the green flag to fly, and we're off and away for heat race number 1. And the Bandoleros side by side for turn number 1. 38 of Love on the outside, trying to make it work. Not going to happen. Pole sitter 48 pulls through 8 laps in this heat race.
this division fun because not only do these kids race like it's a super speedway, they have to drive it like a super speedway. And the factor, these kids do not lift out of the throttle. Foot's buried the entire time. You lose that momentum, you're going to lose a lot of spots.
You can see there's some fighting going on in the pack. Looks like the 87 of Rothwell under attack by maybe Matthew Cunningham at the 18 machine. That's a fight for P5 at the moment. And behind all of that, a couple of drivers trying to make it a 3, maybe 4-way fun as they look at 3 wide into turn 4. Not going to happen. And at the line, Cunningham with P5.
Battle here. This is the best pack to watch because we got the most cars duking it out. There is a little battle for third that's calmed down right now, so we're going to stay on this one as we're battling for the 5th spot. Technically, we got 4 cars battling for 5th.
And that 31 machine is the one making the moves, the 31D to the inside. So thought we were going to get side by side for that spot. Good news for the 87 Rothwell. He's out in front of that, so trying to keep his distance, but definitely still a 4-way fight. 35 machine aggressor in there trying to get a part of it as well. But the 18 is not having a fun time on the outside of the racetrack. Back 2 spots in 2 laps.
I believe that's a 31D, correct me if I'm wrong, of De Guevara.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of 31 lookalikes here this week, and they brought a whole farm's worth of Bandoleros that all have the same paint scheme and number style, just different letters. That'll be fun for Evan and I to announce because we got to use our pupils to try to figure that out.
And it looks like they finally settled things down a little bit back there. Next time by, I think we're going to be coming to 2 laps to go. Up front, still very much in control of this thing. That 48 machine, Jesse Love, starting to trail a little bit. You can see that gap that's grown between 1 and 2. The fight for third may not be over with, though, because Lynch and Knudsen right there on each other. Coming to the white flag next time by, that 43 machine trying to find a way through.
Taking a look high, peeking low. And the drivers in front of you all stay in the same lane, right down on that yellow line or as close as they can get to it. It's hard to pass unless you got some momentum on the outside.
And he's been all over that bumper for the better part of the second half of this race, but he's just going to come up short on the last lap of this one. It's going to be Kimele way out in front for Kimele. Gets the job done. Jesse Love safely in P2 and thought maybe we're going to see something out of that final corner, but tracing the bumper for 3rd and 4th, Lynch and Knudsen, Trip Rothwell to round out your top 5. And side by side behind them, I think Cunningham stole that spot.
I like that. Stay low if you're slow. I've never heard a driver listen to someone else tell them how to drive, but stay low if you're slow. That's a nice slogan there.
Well, we saw the passing happening on the bottom.
Yeah.
So at least during the race, everybody wanted to push those folks out of the way to get to the inside.
So yeah, pretty good field of Bandoleros here this weekend. Some competitors battling from the Bullring, like we said, the local drivers, and then we got some Orange Show racers. We got some Irwindale racers out here. So quite the mix. And it's what's fun about this event for a lot of people is I believe that all of these drivers that come from out of town purely are out here not only because there's a race going on, but it's a destination. They get to come to Vegas, they get to party, they get to have fun, and in the meantime do what they love to do. And always a fun fall classic out here at Las Vegas, Bullring. And we're enjoying covering it here for all of you viewers on lowbudget.tv.
Conditions a little bit more favorable for us as well tonight. It's
Yeah.
obviously started earlier than we did last night, so the sun's still out, so it's nice and warm. But there is not as much wind as of now.
Yes.
But it kind of ties in with what we were talking about last night, how being close enough to Southern California and all that. 4 hours of a drive for someone like myself who lives here, equally as easy for somebody from surrounding areas and states to come out here and make it a weekend.
Yes. And we got some drivers from Canada. We've got Wisconsin in the house here.
The Big H.
Yep, the Big H from, where is it? Somewhere in Japan. I can't remember the city.
I think it started with an O. I don't know if it was Okinawa.
Okasawa or something like. I don't know.
I got half of it.
It's from Oka something.
Yes.
Oka somewhere.
Okay, so in the 14 car, we've got Emilio Thompson. In the 98 is
Heat number 2 rolling on track for our Bandoleros.
Dustin Mitchell.
And Emilio Thompson will start this one from pole in that red and yellow number 14 machine. Will be joined on the front row by the number 98 of Adam Lemke, Dustin Mitchell, the 14M, and the 31E of Tyler Reef make up row 2. That's third and fourth respectively. Back on row 3, Chase Rothwell in P5 with Casey Klein in P6. Owen Romzik in 7th with Jordy Harbert in the number 8 position in the 09. And it looks like Branch Danko to round out your 9-car field, assuming that everybody's out there. I think we have all of them.
Looks good for my book.
I count 9. If it's the correct 9 or not, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But there are 9 out there, and we got 9 on the sheet.
Field getting the one to go this time by, so the pace car will flip the switch and turn off the lights. See how I was talking about, we got another 31. It's an E, though. So have fun with that, Evan, because I know it's always a struggle for me. So I'll be dealing with that with you as well.
Well, that ties in with what we saw last night. There was a couple of restarts that they did not like in the tower. So
yes.
Reminding them that the green flag is going to be what dictates the start of this thing. They'll be side by side at turn number 4. First of 8 laps at Bando heat number 2. And a better jump topside for Lemke.
Lemke had quite the interesting night last night in his junior late model. And then, unfortunately, DNF'd in his HPD Midget. But now he's got another day of playing.
And he's in a good spot. Again, had that challenge to 1, but it's very difficult to hold that top side in general in these cars, but especially when you're just really trying to get him up to speed and get some momentum built. But he tucked in line there nice and safely, P2. The 14M of Dustin Mitchell's right there as well. Single file top to bottom in this field. Curious how long the top 5 are going to stay grouped together like they are there, or if this one is going to spread out at all. I know the 14 wants to pull away, getting a little bit that time.
And then we got another driver. We saw Mitch Klein battle for a heat race transfer last night. Well, his young one is in the number 1 machine, battling with a 09. Oh, where are you going? Going wide is Klein. And we got trouble on the front straightaway of the 4B machine.
Branch Danko.
Either this car was heading to victory lane early or some sort of mechanical issue that fixed itself.
I don't think that car went all the way around, but it was coasting just below that yellow line on the front stretch, and the flagman had that yellow flag in hand. He was waiting, and the car was able to get back going. So no caution. We're going to stay green, but you can see just how much off the pace that machine is if there is any sort of an issue as the 14 machine at tops in. And if you're low, stay low. Or if you're slow, stay low, rather. 14 going up on the outside, getting by him. And that might make things interesting for a second there, because Lemke and Mitchell finding themselves stuck together working around that lap traffic. More so a battle now just between 2 and 3 as your leader is comfortably out in front past halfway.
Everybody pretty comfortable where they're at right now. Everybody's single file. The closest gap is right here on screen for the second spot. I take that back over
3
here.
wide.
Yeah. I take that right back.
4, 5, and 6, and it is Rothwell on the outside, who I think it's 2 spots at once. Jumps the 31E of Reef. He'll jump up to P4 and be able to get that spot. The 72 of Romzik also working around that slower lapped car. White flag in the air, though, for the guys up front. That battle for P2 not over, but out in front, Emilio Thompson comfortable in front of this one. Small challenge at the very opening lap of this race when it went down to turn number 1, but it is going to be a safe checkered flag at Bando Heat 2.
Lemke will hold off the 14.
Mitchell ends up 3rd, Rothwell 4th, Reef in P5, with Romzik 6th, Klein 7th. Habert in the number 8 spot, and then of course Danko running out P9.
8th place, Shorty Habart, and Brant Stanko at 9th. All drivers here at the Bullring do have earpieces in, and race control in the tower is able to communicate with them. And that helps us get them lined
So I
up.
believe the Bombers might be next.
You know, someone had a bad day before we even started racing, based off of what I saw just a second ago. I see a bomber that's way up high on a trailer, and it's already crashed. So either somebody crashed pulling onto the trailer, or someone just bought a wrecked car.
I'm not sure which one's worse.
It's true.
Okay, next up we've got our bomber heat race. Bombers are your most basic race car here at the Bullring. They also usually have the largest car count because they're fairly inexpensive to race. Because of the larger car count.
Looks like they're going to be having 8-lap heat races, just like we saw in the Bandos just before this, and relatively good car count. That's the 17 of Carl Dury up on the front. It looks like the 60 or somebody's slotting in, so we'll wait for timing and scoring to update this time by. A little bit out of shape, but 17 will start up front, and it's going to be the double O of Anthony Mann, who will start from P2. Then you got that 68 machine of Zachary Nichols in third, the 44 machine of Nick Nucatelli
There you go.
right behind. And they are going to double them up and go green this time by. 99 machine of Kirk Hance right there inside. Looks like they'll put him on row number 3. 65 machine to the outside of that row, Mike Riefler. And this is another one where there's a lot of familiar faces, because this is week in and week out, I think, the busiest class
Yes.
here at the Bullring. So it'll be a fun one for 8 laps, first of a few on the evening.
And this division always exciting. None of you have ever seen this. We're already
That is
4 wide.
4 wide.
That is the biggest 4 wide ever, because these are the widest cars we have on track.
We haven't even gotten opening ceremonies yet. We're just getting things warmed up, and we're 4 wide in the Bombers. The double O, though, out and in front and enjoying the gap as man, and we are 3 wide again. That's not a lot of grip up there. And again, up front, you can't just pull away because of the breakout rate. So you kind of have to guesstimate. This is where, obviously, everybody who races here on a week-in and week-out basis knows kind of how that feels to be able to get a good lap in without getting too good of a lap in.
Kyle Larson, the 92, slipping back.
And on the outside of the racetrack, the 4, Kyle Jacks to the outside. So they'll go side by side for the battle for the race lead. Just behind them, third is Nucatelli. And on the outside, obviously, you can give it a little bit more. Longer way around this joint, still side by side. For now, first and third.
These are heavy cars on a treaded tire, some motor, and very, very stock suspension. So you're going to see these things slipping and sliding like you see Nucatelli there all over the track. He's actually going to lose a spot now.
And a penalty for the race leader. We saw Kyle Jacks make that move up on the outside. Race control, you heard it right there, telling him that he broke out, so he's going to have to take a stop and go penalty.
And we'll see where this is. We were just talking about it.
Sideways. Victory lane.
This is like a 1980s pit stop in the Cup Series.
And you can see the official right there by the pace card. Pulling double duty, making sure the 4 came to a complete stop. So it's not all that bad. He does drop all the way for the race lead, but looks like about 7th or 8th spot now, but he doesn't lose a lap at least.
So I got to ask, can you go on my phone there and you see the timing scoring? Go and scroll. I think you swipe to the left and it'll show the best lap for the 4 of Jacks.
We have no timing and scoring of such.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You pick the one race where it's
Gotcha.
funky on us again.
And that's probably because of the rules of this race. So
Yeah.
I was going to wonder what our
What
number
that number was and break the threshold. If we get the results, from the tower. We'll be able to fill
Yeah.
people in a little bit. But it's the battle for the race lead. Going to come down to the end of it. And Anani Don and Kirk Hans is going to challenge again. You can't go too fast, even if it's the last lap. He will complete the move, though, on the double O.
Not without a bumper, though.
Take the checkered flag. Everybody. That's about 5 cars within, what, half a second, 3/4 of a second at the end of this thing?
Oh, yeah.
And the 99 car. Kirk Hans.
Good.
I didn't hear any penalties.
So it's a 20-second lap time. Because
Yep.
it was a 19.96 for the Ford of Jacks. So,
I'm sorry, that's the
but that was well executed by the 99 to be able to
Yeah.
make that move on the outside on the last lap. Pretty strongly, I'd say, in turn 3 and not break that 20-second threshold. So
It's got to be tough because you can have a bad built motor. You can put together probably some cheater up suspension to help you get through that 20-second bracket, but it doesn't matter because all it takes is that one, thousandth of a second over. and
4
you're penalized.
1,000ths, I think it was, with
Yeah.
the 19.96. So.
That's right. Anything under 20 is going to get you a stop and go. So that's what I guess the equalizer in this class, where you either run at your max, and if you're just a bit over 20, you're good, or you have to feather that throttle at times or tap the brakes before you hit the line. It's all fun. Kind of mixed between drag racing and oval track racing all in one.
Well, and that helps make, I think, this division very affordable. I think it's the entry-level thing that you can do here. So the fact that, you can't pump a bunch. I mean, you can if you want, pump a bunch of money into the car. It's not going to do you too good,
But you
though,
got to have a good pump on those brake pedals before
Yeah.
you hit the line.
Yeah. And that was calm, by the way, for a bomber race. We saw 4 wide, and it was still calm by typical standards. So
Yeah.
as we work through the rest of these heat races and such, and then when the sun goes down, the lights come on, and we go main event racing later on, it'll get exciting. That was good, competitive, top 5, again, all over each other.
So we'll continue on with our bomber heats. Oh, no, we're going to go HPD Midget heat racing.
Which will be the second to last heat races we have before the main events coming up at 6. The Midgets, and then they will be followed by the Super Late Model B features.
That B-main's going to be exciting from top to bottom. Last chance to get into the big dance.
Okay, in our first USAC Midget heat race, we've got Cody Jessup in the 44 car. Andy Gredinger in the
Cody Jessup at a 44, going to start this one from up front. All these familiar faces and names from last night, if you were with us.
Okay, we've got Tony Gredinger in the number 80 car. In the 17 car, Joey Ice, Bandolero, California.
Every time I look over, I see a caution tape. I wonder if I'm in like a spot that I shouldn't be. Then I realize it's for the people next to me.
21 is Adam Lemke.
Lemke's in this one as well.
The 44, Cody Jessup, is on the pole position.
All right, so HPD Midget heat race number 1, getting ready to go. Pace car off the track. And we are green.
Flag racing.
First of 8 laps. You can see that 88 machine won last night. Challenge for the race lead. Got all kinds of out of shape right out of the gate. These things are fun. But you got to be careful around each other when you're tightly packed like that in the top 3.
Jessup maintains the lead going on the front stand. Cody Ice, second. Cody Gredinger in third.
Love in command of this race. Second spot is the battle to watch right now.
And I thought that 88 was going to have the spot down to turn 1, but it didn't happen. So we'll see if she's able to get up on it. But side by side we come this time for P2. Got to get this out of the way if you want to be able to challenge for a win. Nice move in 1 and 2 to get the spot.
So Breidinger, your winner last night in the HPD Midget main event. She goes up to the second spot, closing in on Jessie Love.
And these were the two who went at it last night, so it doesn't matter if it's Friday night out under the lights or Saturday afternoon before the sun goes down. Top 2 cars on track, still top 2 cars on track. And getting that move from P2 was critical to be able to get it out of the way early and now challenge for the race lead, but next time by, it'll be 5 laps complete. So not a whole lot of time to make it pretty. It'll be close, though. They'll be on top of each other next time by, I think.
I think they are definitely reeling each other in. Both have, I mean, these things are nearly running the same speed, pace, line. But you see Breidinger really starting to close in on Love. The white flag comes out, 1 more to go.
I'm not sure if that's going to be enough time for that AE machine to get that little bit extra. The 44 Love still in control. Going to get to within a car length in 3 and 4, but not enough.
Nice start to the HPD Midget heats.
HPD Midgets will be back here on November 18th to crown their champion for the season.
So the Midgets aren't done. They'll be back on November the 18th here at the Bullring to have their season champion crown. So if you're somebody in the area, make sure to come out. That might be, I think, the last race of the weekend as well of the year out here.
And that weekend will be with the Spears Southwest Tour and the Lucas Oil Modified, so a big, great weekend of racing.
All right, we've got our second heat race for these USAC Midgets coming up next.
Something, it's kind of funny because last night they were kind of quick with bringing cars onto the track, and today it's like, I don't know,
Okay, we've got cars on the
just
track.
taking their time, I guess. I don't know.
We're rolling.
But we're on track now. Second heat for the HPD Midgets, and then I believe you said after this one we will do our B main event.
And I'm not sure if we've had as many people walking in front of us as last night, but the super late spotters have started to make their way up here. So that is due up next after heat race number 2.
Jessie Love has been one of our busiest drivers here this weekend.
Top spot in this one on the doubled up grid here, the 75 of Annie Breidinger. Going to be joined by the 38 of Jessie Love, top side on the racetrack. Tyler Slay and Chaz Grote going to make up row 2, 3rd and 4th respectively, inside and out. And then I think the 40 machine loads them on that 3rd row of Blake Brennan. Get around at a 5-car field. Same as the other one, 8 laps. 8 laps seems to be the popular number to get tonight kicked off with these 8 races, but it'll be an 8-lap heat for these midgets.
Not too shabby of a race last night. with these HPD midgets. Their main event, relatively clean, get some good battles throughout, especially there at the end for the win. And looking for more excitement here tonight. As like you said, they'll be back here in a month, so maybe a little bit of test and tune, maybe a little bit of the setup. Here we go. Heat number 2, we are green.
And an early jump on that one by the 75 of Brodinger, but not even going to be good enough for the race lead. Jesse Love, nice move on the outside of the racetrack as battle's going to be on for third. I believe they are slowing him down, and it's tough to see the lights when the sun is still on track, but the yellow flag is waving, and that's why I noted that it was a little bit of an early jump by the 75 machine. We really heard race control kind of pounding that into their heads earlier tonight. You got to wait on the green flag. Although you are quote-unquote pole sitter inside of the front row, you do not restart this race. And you got to wait on the flagman. So pace car not going to worry about coming out, though, and then we'll back up. We'll try it again with Brodinger on the inside. 38 Love top side. We'll see if the 38 can get that good jump again.
Almost 3 wet at the start there.
Same result for P1. Love topside, going to get it not by as much. And Brodinger, contact for the race lead. And there goes the 38.
And
caution.
Go yellow. And I apologize. Last night I mentioned that this flagman does not have light switches. He does. I just found that out because he reached over and
flipped the switch.
Flipped the switch. I was like, what's he grabbing at? A Pepsi? Nope. He's grabbing at the light switch.
Well, all weekend they've been doing a pretty good job of trying to let them stay green. Again, they didn't drop the yellow immediately on that one, but we saw the battle for the race lead. Brodinger was a lot closer to that second restart than the first one. Went to the inside, and it is lap 1 of an 8-lap heat race, so you got to wonder if it's a little bit of an aggressive move to the inside. Do you give that car that position? Do you not come down? But tough break for Jesse Love and all of that. Appears the car is okay, though. Did come to a stop, but all things considered, relatively minor contact. And the good news for the 38 machine is he's going to be welcomed right back to the front row. So
I was going to say, nobody really losing any spots.
If there's any bad blood between those two, well, they get to do it again. And they've been side by side twice in a row.
Yeah.
So we'll go green and get this one back underway. And again, because that contact happened on the opening lap, I believe, even though the leaders did take to the start-finish line, this is a straight restart with 8 laps to go on the board. So that's why that 38 machine's back in the front row. So third time's the charm. We'll try it again.
75 car, Kenny Redinger is going to bring him around to the green flag.
And here we go.
And that was the best start tonight for the 75. But again, Love just figures something out. Top side into 1 and 2 on the opening lap of this thing. We'll see if the 75 of Brodinger can hold the inside. Very nice line into turn 4, and it will maintain for the race lead. Something tells me Love's going to be there throughout the night as we see a fight behind them for third. Slade trying to pick up a spot on Chaz Grove.
Ooh, it got loose there. Going into turn number 3.
And they'll fight for the race lead, and it is going to go to that 38 of Jesse Love, making a move. This is a picture-perfect scenario, what we saw last time. Brodinger on the inside, and again, the 38 not giving any room this time. The car doesn't end up in the infield, and that block maintains the race lead for Jesse Love.
It's a good battle here for the front on the top spot. Everybody else kind of duking it out, settling in.
Slade was able to pick up that spot, and Grove fell back another one. So Blake Brandon was able to jump up in that orange machine from from 5th to 4th. So Grove, who started this race in 3rd, rounds out the back right now. P5, single file, top to bottom this time, 3 to go.
All spread out here. The sun sets behind us. The shadows really forming on the front straightaway. Battle for the second spot might start to heat up here.
Slay has the second fastest lap of this race. So So a little bit consistently faster than Brodinger, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to be able to make it a fight for P2. Fastest car on track is Jesse Love. His best lap of a 15.2. It's over 3/10 faster than the next closest car, and he's going to get it. And in turn number 4, checkered flag win in Midget heat race number 2.
Jesse Love smoked him in the second HPD Midget heat race. I believe we are having our B main event coming up next.